Can you see?
Yes, madam. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, madam. We will start within 5-10 minutes, madam.
Okay. What I have to do?
You can when we introduce you, na, that time.
Good afternoon, madam. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Madam Rati and Prabha. Nice to see you all.
Good afternoon.
Hello, madam.
Yes.
If VC sir is joining, then we can call our guest of honor.
Yes. Good afternoon, madam. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Yes, ma'am. Jyoti, I have just sent the message again and then immediately we can start. You are muted.
Golite madam is also joining. She will join.
Yes. अनिल को भी थोड़ा मैसेज कर दो. अनिल.
Yeah. Anil is there. There are more than 499 participants are there. So he's going to send a YouTube link, which we can share with the others, those who could not join us. Yeah, send the YouTube link. I'm just sending it in the college ID.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. Can we start the program, sir?
Yeah, surely.
Okay. Jyoti.
Ma'am, can we start?
Yes. Jyoti, please start. Please start the program.
A very good afternoon to one and all gathered here for 3 days national webinar organized by MGM New Bombay College of Nursing, Kamotu. I, Mrs. Sarika Sukesh Nayak, welcome you all on behalf of MGM New Bombay College of Nursing on this 3 days of national webinar. To begin with the inauguration ceremony of this webinar, may I request Dr. Jyoti Chaudhary, Associate Professor, MGM New Bombay College of Nursing, to give the welcome address.
Good afternoon to all. Good afternoon to all the dignitaries, guests, and delegates. It is an honor and privilege for me to welcome all of you on behalf of MGM New Bombay College of Nursing, a constituent student of MGM Institute of Health Sciences. Team Industry for this 3 days workshop, 3 days national webinar on governance and leadership, optimizing nursing education and service. This is a period of webinar agree. However, response got from the participants is overwhelming. This justifies the need of the topic of the webinar for nursing education and service, especially in this COVID pandemic situation. First, I would like to welcome Honorable Vice Chancellor Dr. Shashank Dave. The constant motivation from Sir and also echoing the need for transformation of nurse governors are the two important reasons to organize this national webinar. And the outcome of this webinar would be definitely be fruitful in enhancing quality of nursing education and service. I also welcome our all three stakeholders of MGM Institute of Health Sciences with distinct vision and ideas for and provide and all of their support and Dr. Bulai, Sunita Bulai, Deputy Director Nursing from Government of Maharashtra. I welcome you, ma'am, and thank you for sparing your time and acceptance to address the gathering in short time. Dr. Rati Balchandran, ADG Nursing, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India. Many thanks and welcome to you, madam, for sensing the need of an hour and is ready to provide wisdom for nurse governors and leaders. There are total 16 shrewd speakers from government, from public, private, and corporate healthcare industry and education institute who will be enriching our experience in this 3 days webinar. Through this webinar, participants will get a feast of knowledge from 8 universities, 4 healthcare industries, and 2 professional organizations from 5 states of India. I welcome Madam Anita Devgar, Dr. Nilima Sunavne, Dr. Nancy Fernandez, Dr. Falakshi Mandipur, who will be joining us on this virtual platform to share their view on leadership in current era of nursing. I also welcome our distinguished resource person, Dr. Prakash Tope sir.
Jyoti, your net is not working.
Yeah, that's why I'm speaking from Farganzia's
Okay, carry on.
laptop.
Carry on.
To initiate with inauguration, I will brief in short about organization. Mahatma Gandhi Mission Trust was established in the year 1982 and has focused on healthcare services, school education and higher education. Mahatma Gandhi Institute of Health Sciences was accorded Deemed University under Section 3 of UGC Act 1956 in the year 2006, accredited grade by A by NAC status. The university is known today for the excellence in its teaching, research, patient care, and community outreach program, serving people from various stages of life with focus especially on women. The university is accredited by NAC with grade A, which I have already explained, and accreditation of teaching hospital with Mahatma Jyotiba Jana Arogya Yojana, NABH grade A, NABL for diagnostic laboratories. MGM New Bombay College of Nursing had its inception in 2008. During the last 10 years, this organization has grown profoundly from undergraduate to postgraduate program and PhD program. The institute is one among the pioneering colleges in India for offering nurse practitioner in critical care postgraduate program from the academic year 2017. With the able leadership and guidance by Dr. Prabha Vegasila, Director, Professor and Director, MGM New Bombay College of Nursing, the college aims to strive towards excellence in nursing education by broadening the avenues nationally and internationally. Today's webinar is an example of the same. I'm sure this webinar will be useful. This will give us opportunity to interact with each other to the full and exchange your experience and create ideas for the future. Pandemic of COVID-19 has shrunk the world, and now we have come very close to discuss and solve the issue on virtual platform. Once again, I welcome dignitaries, resource persons, heads of the organization for allowing their faculty, staff, and students to participate in this webinar. Thank you, madam. Thank you, sir. Now I'll hand over to Ms. Sarika.
Thank you, ma'am. Now let us have a e-lamp lighting on this day to pray for Lord Almighty to bring out success for our program. I request third year BSc Nursing students for an invocation song.
तू बुद्धि दे, तू तेज दे, नव चेतना विश्वास दे। तू बुद्धि दे, तू तेज दे, नव चेतना विश्वास दे। जे सत्य सुंदर सर्वथा, जे सत्य सुंदर सर्वथा, आजन्म त्याचा ध्यास दे। तू बुद्धि दे, तू तेज दे, नव चेतना विश्वास दे। हरवली आभाळ ज्यांचे हो दयांचा सोबती, सापडेना वाट ज्यांना हो दयांचा सारथी। हरवली आभाळ ज्यांचे हो दयांचा सोबती, सापडेना वाट ज्यांना हो दयांचा सारथी। साधना करीती तुझी जे, साधना करीती तुझी जे, नित्य तव सहवास दे। जे सत्य जाणवाया दुर्बलांचे दुःख आणि वेदना जाणवाया दुर्बलांचे दुःख आणि वेदना तेवत्या राहो सदा रंध्रातुनी संवेदना धमनातल्या रुधिरासया खलवेदनाची आस दे सामर्थ्या शब्दास आणि अर्थया जगण्यास दे जे सत्य सुंदर सर्वथा आजन्म त्याचा ध्यास दे तू बुद्धी दे तू तेज दे नवचेतना विश्वास दे
Thank you, students, for that beautiful and a soothing song. Now, I request our Honorable Vice Chancellor, MGM IHS, Dr. Shashank Dalvi sir, to kindly address the gathering.
Good afternoon to all. Dr. Goliath, Deputy Director, Nursing, Government of Maharashtra, who has joined for this particular inaugural function. Dr. Dashila Madam, Director, Professor of New Bombay College of Nursing, all other faculty members, all the faculty members who are working as a resource person for this particularly workshop. Rati Balasubramaniam, Madam, Balachandran, Dr. Nilima Sonone, Dr. Prakash Doke, and the number of eminent personalities in the field of nursing education working in the state of Maharashtra as well as outside the state of Maharashtra who have joined this particularly 3 days webinar which has been organized by MGM New Bombay College of Nursing, Governance and Leadership, Optimizing Nursing Education and Service. At the outset, I wish all the success for this particular webinar. At present, again, we are facing the COVID-19, the rise in number of cases. During last year also, nursing profession has done a tremendous job in prevention and curing the COVID cases. And particularly the death rate in the COVID patients is less in our country, and for that the service rendered to the patients, that also carries very much importance. The care that has been given to the patients. So by and large, the profession is recognized by the care, the quality of the care that has been given, and the quality enhancement in all the fields, maybe in the service that is given to the patients, which is of paramount importance, education for giving the care, and as this is the skill-oriented program, so among the skills, and our educational principles also the outcome-based education and the skill enhancement. So for that the skill enhancement and the quality is to be improved in the various skills of the nursing professions. So all the deliberations that will happen on this quality enhancement in the nursing education and the service will be of paramount importance. As you, most of you, the familiar names are there, are aware about the MGM Institute of Medical Sciences, our both the campuses, Navi Mumbai campus as well as Aurangabad campus, and we are having the at Aurangabad Navi Mumbai campus medical college as well as this New Bombay College of Nursing with graduate program, PBBSc program, the postgraduate program. Also, it has been recognized by the nurse practitioner program, which is available in very few institutes of the country. In very few colleges, this particular program is available. So, this particular, my best wishes to all this. I will not take much time. So, my best wishes to all this particular webinar and the deliberations in this particular webinar. Thank you for inviting me for the inaugural function of this particular webinar. Wish you all the success. Go ahead. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Now, I would like to call upon Dr. Sunita Gulahit, Deputy Director, Health Services Nursing, Government of Maharashtra, our guest of honor for our today's session. Madam had completed her MBBS degree from BJNC Pune and MS Ophthalmology from Sassoon Hospital, Pune. She had also completed postgraduate diploma in health service management. Madam's professional experience includes lecturer as a lecturer BJMC Pune, as ophthalmic surgeon class 1 from 2001 to 2016, and as ADHS medical from 2016 to 2020. Currently, Madam holds the post of Deputy Director, Health Services of Nursing in Mumbai. We welcome you, ma'am, into the session.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Please.
Thank you, Jyoti, for inviting me. Hello.
Yes,
Can you
madam.
hear me, Jyoti?
Yes, I can hear. Yes.
See, due to some technical problem, I think my video is not playing.
Okay.
Me?
Yeah, we can hear you, ma'am.
At the outset, I would like to thank you for calling me for this webinar. Yeah, now it is visible. I would like to thank you for calling me for this, inviting me for this webinar. Today's topic of, at the outset, I would like to appreciate a topic which is very different for this webinar. See, leadership, as we all know, is a very different aspect. And in nursing cadre, the leadership which we are doing is very, very positive. That is what I think. See, WHO has already said, you are all from the nursing professional. WHO has said nurses are not assistant to doctors, but they are medical professionals or medical assistants, or they are medical professionals in their own way. That is what WHO has said. So nurses are the backbone of the society, of the medical healthcare, and they are an integral part of the hospital. You had told me to say something about leadership in nursing education and the clinical side also. First, I would like to say that leadership in education side on the nursing in the nursing cadre is very different. Nursing cadre, this thing leadership starts right from the day when the student takes an admission to the nursing profession. Either it is an ANM or GNM or a BSc nursing, the leadership starts during the admission process itself. In our sector, that is the public health sector, we are having 33 ANM schools and 27 GNM schools, where we are grooming the students to be the future leaders. The ANM itself, she is a leader. For in our sector, we are giving 1 ANM to 5,000 population. So what happens? This girl is trained to serve that 5,000 population. So indirectly, she is a leader in the medical field to her area. Coming about to the clinical side, a staff nurse or the matron or the other post holders of the nursing profession, they are leaders in themselves. They manage the hospital. They are the integral part of the hospital. They run the hospital very properly. And we know that during the situation of this COVID and pandemic, all the staff nurses and the nursing cadre has worked very hard to come out from this pandemic. Just because of their devoted work and their professional and devotion and attachment to the patients, many of them, lakhs and millions of people have been cured.
Madam, your voice is breaking.
Muted.
Yeah, madam. Dr. Golait, you are muted. Your voice is not audible.
Okay.
Now you can hear. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So what I think is personally that the nursing cadre is a backbone of this medical profession, and they are leaders in this their own self. They are leaders at the hospital, whether it is the grassroots level, whether it is the state level or the district level. They are just taught to be like a leader. And there are various positive and negative aspects of leadership qualities. A good leader is one who understands the problem of this group, that is the nursing group, and what way they can help and overcome the problems of all the nursing cadres. So that is what I want to say. I thank you for inviting me for this webinar, and it is a different type of webinar, and it is a need of the hour that the problems and issues of the nursing professionals should be looked at and find a solution to the problem. Thank you, Jyoti.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now it's time to open up the theme for our 3 days of national webinar. So may I request Dr. Prabha K. Rasila, ma'am, Professor and Director, MGM New Bombay College of Nursing. Madam is PhD and MSc in Medical Surgical Nursing with 35 years of professional experience. Madam had organized and participated as a resource person in many conferences and seminars, and also have many publications to her credit. Madam is also a mentor for various postgraduate as well as PhD scholar students, and also had contributed in curriculum development. To name a few awards under her credit, Madam had received Srimati Lilavati Nair Memorial Award for Outstanding Contribution to Professional Education by Higher Education Forum. She is an inspiring mentor to many Education Leader of the Year 2018 by NHCA Singapore, and also had won first prize for poster presentation at National Conference in CMC Vellore. So I request Madam to kindly open the theme for our national webinar.
Good afternoon to all of you. Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sir, Dr. Shashank D. Dalvi, guest of honor, eminent resource persons, senior members in the profession, faculty, delegates, and students. I am delighted to acknowledge the presence of our Vice Chancellor and Dr. Sunita Golait and all the resource persons from various reputed institutions in India. It is my proud privilege to introduce the theme of the national webinar organized by MGM New Bombay College of Nursing on 3 days between 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. on 24th, 25th, and 26th of February 2021. In today's healthcare scenario in India, there is a wide spectrum of contrasting landscape from delivering high-tech medical care in the urban cities to scarce resources and services in the remote villages of India. The human resource element is the most critical component of the health systems. There is a significant shortage of qualified health workers. To overcome the emerging healthcare challenges, the government has initiated various strategies. The National Health Mission and state governments has invested in the health infrastructure and introduced various policies for smooth functioning of healthcare system. Alongside challenges, the healthcare industry in India is undergoing a radical change. If we see the pace of this change, the change is being very fast, from advancement in medical technology to evolving new models of care, increasing patient load, quality assurance, accreditation norms, etc., etc. In such circumstances, what happens to nurses? Nurses face daunting challenges at the workplace, which may affect their quality of work. The nurses need violence-free, healthy work environment, good mentors and mentoring system, regular feedback, and a feeling of institutional ownership. This is a real challenge. Therefore, an efficient governance and strong leadership is mandated to overcome the emerging challenges. Quality and safety are important areas in which professional nurses have great potential to serve as leaders. Quality management processes encourage all healthcare team members to continuously ask the questions, how are we doing and how better can we do, for which quality benchmarks are set. These quality benchmarks are applicable to nursing education as well as nursing services. In education, it is to identify how well the students are attaining learning outcomes and for assessing practices and processes in nursing services. Currently, the institutions undergo formal and independent verification of academic and service conforming to established quality standards for which critical thinking, leadership, and governance is of paramount importance. Governance refers to the processes and structures that provide autonomy, control, and authority to nurses regarding the nursing practices within the organization. Good governance and leadership is considered as core of a resilient healthcare system. Leadership can never happen in isolation. It requires timely support, right direction, and autonomy. Now the question is whether leadership is done only at the top level. It is rightly said that the leadership skills are learned and mastered over time. Therefore, it is important to inculcate the basic grasp of these skills as early as possible, starting from the student period. It is rightly mentioned by Dr. Dulahid that from the time the student is admitted to the hospital, they start developing the leadership skills. To introduce these skills, nursing teachers are forced to engage themselves in providing most relevant knowledge and practice opportunities to the students for leadership and management skills in nursing. In the hospital, all nurses mentor their juniors by orienting them or by taking one or more formal responsibilities as team leaders and preceptors, where they play the role of a leader for their juniors. It is rightly said, leadership is not necessarily innate. Many individuals develop their leadership skills through experience. Proactive succession planning is the key strategy for addressing the impending shortage of nurse leaders. Such planning involves identifying high potential individuals and formally developing them to assume leadership responsibilities. Many times it could be reciprocal to the individual as well as to the organization. The nurses who are respected and feel valued see a chance to grow in an organization are less likely to look outside opportunities. Similarly, the organization identifies the internal talent desired for a particular position. So it becomes a reciprocal benefit to the individual as well as to the organization. Therefore, providing a healthy environment is a paramount importance. Healthy work environment. So it's all depend on the role and responsibilities of a nurse, be it a student, a professional nurse, or a head nurse of the nursing services. Leadership involves at all setting, whether it is central, state, professional association, nursing education, or nursing services. Enhancing professional competency and building effective leadership is the top priority in the healthcare system in the current scenario. Therefore, MGM New Bombay College of Nursing has thought of this theme, governance and leadership, optimizing nursing education and service. This is a 3-day webinar. It will be held between 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. This has total 5 sessions. Session 1, leadership in current era of nursing, in which how is the nursing advocacy in the healthcare governance at the central, state, professional association, nursing education and nursing services is carried on. This is on day 1, in which we have renowned speakers, Dr. Rathi Balachandran, Madam, Assistant Director General Nursing, Government of India, who will be deliberating on nursing advocacy in healthcare governance at central level. I welcome you, ma'am, for this session. The next will be advocacy, nurses advocacy in healthcare governance at state level, which will be deliberated by Dr. Nilima Sonavane, Professor and Principal, INE JJ Hospital Campus, Mumbai, Maharashtra. Next session is at the national professional level, which will be conducted by Ms. Anita Devadhar, former President, Trained Nurses Association of India. Following which, the advocacy at nursing education, which will be dealt with by Dr. Nancy Fernandez, Professor and Principal, LT College of Nursing, SNDT Women's University, Mumbai, Maharashtra. Advocacy at the nursing service level will be conducted by Dr. Falakshi Manjarekar, Director Nursing, PD Hinduja Hospital and Medical Research Center, Mumbai, Maharashtra. Day 2 session will be held on healthcare challenges in India, prominence to nursing. We have speakers on this day, Dr. Prakash Doke, sir, Professor, Department of Community Health, Community Medicine, Bharati Vidyapeeth Deemed University. He will be dealing with emerging healthcare problems and availability of healthcare resources. Thereafter, the session will be led by Dr. Swati Rane, Founder and CEO, Seva Shakti, Mumbai, Maharashtra, who will be dealing with preparedness of nursing professionals to overcome the challenges. I welcome you, ma'am, for this session. Session 3 on the same day, leadership in change management, will be done by Dr. Sharada Ramesh, Director, Symbiosis College of Nursing, Symbiosis International University, Pune, Maharashtra, who will be doing change management process and its challenges. Dr. Pramila Lee, Professor and HOD, Medical Surgical Nursing, CMC Vellore, Tamil Nadu, will carry on role of leadership in change management. Day 3 will have a session on preparedness of healthy work environment, in which succession planning will be done by Dr. Vatsala Sadan, Dean and Professor, College of Nursing, CMC Vellore. Employee knowledge management process by Dr. Lata Venkatesh, Professor and Principal, AIMS Delhi, College of Nursing, New Delhi. Employee mentoring and performance appraisal by Ms. Minimol Varghese, Chief Nursing Officer, Fortis Healthcare Limited, Mulund, Mumbai. And session 5, quality enhancement in nursing, it will be including continuous quality improvement and quality benchmarking in nursing education, which will be conducted by Dr. Sudha Reddy, Professor and Principal, KLE Institute of Nursing Education, Belgavi, Karnataka. Continuous improvement in and quality benchmark in nursing service will be conducted by Captain Ajita Nair, Managing Director, Heel Beach. Accreditation in nursing education will be done by Dr. Nalini R, Professor and Principal, Ramachandra College of Nursing, Sri Ramachandra University, Chennai, Tamil Nadu. Accreditation in nursing service will be done by Dr. Meera Acharekar, Professor and Director of Nursing, ACTREC, Navi Mumbai, Maharashtra. So for today's session, there are total 16 speakers, the resource persons from the renowned institutions in India, and there are total 499 plus participants who have registered for this webinar. I hope the deliberations from distinguished speakers will tremendously benefit the participants to update their knowledge. I will conclude here with quote by Mahatma Gandhi. If I have the belief I can do it, I shall surely acquire the capacity to do it, even if I may not have it at the beginning. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. By this, we come to an end of our inauguration ceremony, and I welcome everyone once again for the national webinar on governance and leadership, optimizing nursing education and service. Now, I request Dr. Jyoti Chaudhary, Madam, to kindly begin with the first session of our 3 days of national webinar.
Thank you, Sarika. So our first, now let us start with our preliminary sessions of today's webinar, that is leadership in current era of nursing, nurses advocacy in healthcare governance. As Dr. Prabhat Asila, Dr. Golai, our Vice Chancellor sir has already mentioned that leadership and governance is very much important in today's situation, especially in COVID pandemic. So a lot of need has been talked. So now we'll go directly with the session. So I welcome Dr. Rati Balachandran for the topic. Sarika, please introduce, madam. Sarika.
So our first session will be dealt by Dr. Rati Balachandran, Madam, Assistant General Nursing, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India, New Delhi. Madam had done a PhD nursing from Rajiv Gandhi University for Health Sciences. Madam have 27 years of professional experience with many memberships in various professional bodies. She had organized as well as participated as resource person in many conferences and seminars, and also have many publications to her credit, and had also carried out many scientific studies. To name a few achievements under her credit, she is the ad hoc inspector of Indian Nursing Council and Delhi Nursing Council for School of Nursing, as well as she is a counselor for Indira Gandhi Open University for various nursing programs. We welcome you, ma'am, and over to you, ma'am, for the session.
Thank you very much. First of all, let me congratulate the organizers for tailoring a detailed leadership and governance workshop covering all the aspects of nursing and taking experts from various parts of the country. And may I share the screen?
Yes.
Share screen. Can you see?
Yes, ma'am, we can see. Only you can zoom it.
Yeah.
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 Slide show. You can put in a
Yeah.
slide.
That I'm just taking a brief journey through the efforts or the activities which is carrying out at the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare for strengthening nursing. Is it audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes.
So we have a nursing section in the Ministry of Health and which is the nodal section for overall policy matters of nursing services, under which we have two centrally sponsored or central sector schemes implemented, which is having two parts, that is upgradation or strengthening of nursing services, as well as another one for the development of nursing services. This shows that Government of India is very much committed for developing the nursing services and recognizes nursing as a backbone and as the only solution for making SDG and universal health coverage a reality. So when we see about the nursing workforce available in our country, we have an approximately 20 lakhs registered nurses and about 8.5 lakhs registered ANM and LHV, with a training capacity of 8,478 institutes, and annual admission capacity is 2,20,916, and which contributes to 1.7 is the nurse population ratio, whereas our goal is to at least have 2.5 per thousand population. So with this, the scheme for strengthening nursing services has been launched in 2010 with an outlay of 2,030 crores, of which 950 crores have been released, with an objective of around 112 ANM institutes and 136 GNM institutes to be approved, of which we could only achieve 50 ANM and 63 GNM institutes are now functional. The rest are under the process of functioning, because the first installment has been released to the states. The central sector scheme means there is a part to be released by the central government and then part to be released by the state government. To start with, it was 80-20 ratio, that is 80% will be from the center and 20% from the state, which we have now changed into 40-60. So after once the first installment is released, there should be commitment, and the release from the state part is important, and based upon which the second installment will be released. So we can see that out of 2,030 crores, we could only release 950 crore because the coordination between the state and the sender in utilizing this money is lacking. These things I'm just giving you the facts out so that we can understand that how important is the leadership and what more are required. Another part of another central scheme is that development of nursing services, under which we have training of nurses. That is around 2.65 crore is the amount given, and there is three parts in this. One is training of nurses, that is 1,65,000 rupees are given for a training 30 nurses for a duration of 7 days. And then the second scheme under this is upgradation of schools to colleges of nursing. As we mentioned that the College of Nursing of BSc Nursing as to be the entry position for this profession, for which
Excuse me,
we
ma'am.
have to upgrade the schools. Yeah.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Prabha ma'am, we cannot see madam's presentation. Can you ask her?
Kindly, we cannot see the slides, ma'am.
Presentation, ma'am.
We cannot see the slides. It's still on the
No.
first slide.
Yes.
It's still on the first slide.
Just shall I stop sharing and then I'll try to do?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
please.
and slide share also, ma'am. Slide show. Slide show also.
I don't know why it has not happened, but anyway. I'm not able to do it here. Is it not possible? No.
Jyoti ma'am, can you do from your side so that it becomes easier?
No,
Oh, ma'am.
that may not be possible. Stop sharing.
Madam, presentation is with madam only.
So madam can send the presentation to you and then you can start from your place.
Madam Rati, you have to have your PPT first, make it into slideshow, and then when you do slide sharing, it will automatically come.
Okay, but okay, let me just.
On your
But
desktop.
then
On your desktop.
yeah,
ma'am.
it. Okay, but
On your
You have to
desktop, make
open
the
the
PPT
slide first. You can open the
yeah,
slide.
I have opened
Do
it.
slideshow.
That's why that was open. That's why it came.
No, you
No,
have
like
to make the slide show, ma'am.
yeah.
Ma'am, when
When
you
it is like,
ma'am, below no, there is share computer sound and optimize sharing screen video clip. So if you can just put that, click on both the sides and then share, it will come.
now can you see?
Yeah.
No, that is
Now
not
you just
okay.
zoom it, I mean, full screen and then, yes, ma'am. You just have to do full screen. Great.
Yeah. So this could you could see this, right? The
Yeah,
nodal
madam.
section for the overall policy matters, where we have two centrally sponsored sectors, and these things. Can you see now?
Ma'am, you have to zoom your screen, full screen. Right now, you're into the presentation mode. If you do the full screen, then we can see the slides.
Zoom as in a sharing a window. I have zoomed, but it was coming only like that.
Ma'am, down, if you can see it at the under the PPT, there is a full screen option. You can just click there.
You can't see this now.
Ma'am, it is too minute. It is difficult to read.
Ma'am, or else we can do.
Yeah,
one
it's
thing.
okay.
You can-
I think you can continue, ma'am, if it is not happening.
Madam,
Yeah.
Madam, whatever you
Is
are
it-
telling,
Is
we are
it?
able
Yeah,
to.
that is sufficient, I feel.
Yeah.
So we have the central scheme which is having training of nurses, where we have 1,65,000 for training 30 persons, and upgradation of the schools to the college and nursing.
One madam, Madam Anita Devdar, Madam, please unmute yourself. Madam Anita. Yeah.
Mute you. So upgradation of school to college is another scheme where we are giving 6 crore rupees per institute, And a third part of the central scheme under development of nursing service is National Florence Nightingale Award, which we were giving for 35 candidates. Now it has increased to 51. So the achievements are the steps taken for nursing, which includes that guideline for the midwifery services, which is rolled out to create a cadre of nurse practitioner in midwifery. Around 86,000 midwifery positions have to be created at various parts of the country. The guideline has been released and government is supporting the states in undergoing this training for trainers as well as for the midwives. In-service training for 7 days, as I mentioned, that is for 7 days for 30 persons, we are giving 1,65,000. And also a continuing nursing education and a license renewal after completing 150 hours of CNE. And registration and tracking system, which everyone is aware, that is through the NRTS, in which we have 10 lakh nurses enrolled. We also have nurse practitioner in critical care PG residency program, which your institution also has done, and the phasing out of GNM course. Main reason is that we have GNM as well as BSc having the same license of registered nurse, registered midwife, which has to be phased out. These were the certain initiatives. There are various post-basic specialty courses developed by the INC for meeting the requirements at the country level. Even though it has been started from 2002, based upon the National Health Policy 2002, the takers were very less, because they have to forget their salary and there was no career progression, for which the INC has modified the syllabus into a residency program, so that we are in a process of having a cadre restructuring committee and the nursing reforms committee, so that this can be included in the recruitment rules, so that a position will be possible for nurses after undergoing these courses. Next step is with regard to the integration of the certificate course in community health. That is also, everyone is aware that from 2020 onwards, the nurses passing out can work as a community health officer under the health and wellness centers. And the working group is there, which is looking into the issues of nursing, that is the cadre pay as well as promotional avenues across the country, so that we will be coming out with a guideline which can be implemented. Then Dr. Jagdish Prasad Committee for Working Conditions of the Nurses in the Private and Corporate Hospitals. Here, the committee has analyzed and has recommended that the basic salary should not be less than 20,000, even if it is a one nurse or in a clinic, the nurse is appointed. And all the hospitals above 200 bedded hospitals should have the same salary structure as well as the working conditions as existing in the government setup of that state. Next program is the induction program and promotional courses for nursing, which have been developed and circulated in 2017 with regard to the induction program, and promotional course in 2019 for every state. And through the NHM, the center is supporting the states for implementing this program, and even Maharashtra has taken little initiative in that in 2018. The CNE cells, as we know that continuing education is important for the renewal of license, and the guideline is being released by the INC with regard to the CNE, but for implementing it and making it the implementation smooth, a CNE cell is recommended in all the central government hospitals and is being initiated, and it is recommended for all the government hospitals across the country. So this is with regard to the basic things in nursing division. Can you see this? Can you see the slides?
No, madam. No, madam. You cannot see your slideshow.
Okay. So
You have to share your screen. Huh. Yeah, now we can see. Yes,
So
we
this
can
is
see.
the guideline of the midwifery services which I mentioned. That is released in 2018 during the Partners Forum in the 2018 December, when the India hosted Partners Forum, where the representatives from various countries were there. The outline, this brief outline is the guideline is classified in under these headings of background midwifery initiatives, as well as how to roll out. That is, as we all know, that maternal mortality rate was very, very high in our country, but still it is a major challenge. But because of various schemes and the measures taken at the center and supported through the NHM to the states, we could reduce it from 556 to 130 in the 2015 level. And by 2017 it is further reduced to 130. In case of in the Indian maternal mortality rate decline is 80% when we compare it with the 40% at the global level. But still the under 5 mortality rate is very high. It is 36 per 1,000 live birth, which we have a far to go, and it is only possible if we are able to give a quality maternity care, or the care during antenatal period is a significant contribution for a healthy newborn. And today's newborn is the future of the country, depends upon the babies born. So we have traveled far, but there are miles to go before we reach the unreached, both in the rural as well as in the rural areas as well as in the urban slums. The critical challenges what we have to what we are facing for reaching SDG goals are ensuring quality, availability of the trained human resources, as well as addressing the rising cesarean section, and improving reach in the remote areas as well as in the urban poor, and ensuring respectful maternity care. As we all know that the nursing is a profession for promotion of health and prevention of illness. We have a great responsibility to ensure the mother and the baby and the family are healthy. So the cesarean section is giving an impact in the health of the mother as well as baby in their life. And hence it is very, very important that the mother is able to have a respectful treatment when she is coming for delivery in the hospital. And also it is our responsibility to educate the mother so that they can take right decision with regard to their reproductive health and pregnancy and delivery. Hence, the need of midwifery is there in our country to promote natural birthing and helping the mothers to have a safe and quality healthcare accessible. We should also ensure that the problems are identified and managed and stabilized in time so that the mother and baby are healthy. We know that the various piloting has happened in this regard right from 2002, and based upon those lessons learned, we have come out with the guideline. This is the guideline which is released with an objective of creating a cadre of nurse practitioner in midwifery who are competent in taking the the competencies as prescribed by the International Confederation of Midwives, and keep knowledgeable and capable of providing compassionate women-centered reproductive, maternal, and newborn health services. And this is the example of midwife-led labor room, which is already released in Gujarat, and we have the few things are under process in Telangana and in Maharashtra. Maharashtra also, we have a national training center.
Madam, if you can move your slides, at least
Can you
press.
see?
No, actually only we are stuck your PPT at maternal mortality ratio.
Why it is happening like that? So anyway,
okay,
let us just
Yeah.
finish the
Yeah.
things. We have
yeah.
that. Can you see now?
No, ma'am. Your slide
Okay.
is fixed.
Okay. So there are certain institutional arrangements made. That is the National Midwifery Task Force, State Midwifery Task Force, as well as District Midwifery Action Group has been developed. Capacity building of the stakeholders and orientation of national and state task force have been made. Availability of tutors as per the ICM standards. For that, teachers training has been given. Ensuring quality and career progression pathways as well as legal framework, we are under process. So these are certain examples which we have, the initiatives we have done. So let me just present without the slides. Can you? Yeah. So anyway, let me just come to the point of governance at the central level. These are few steps, even though the slides were not able to share properly. I apologize for that. But as we know that there are lots of efforts or the measures have been doing at the center level for the welfare of nurses and ultimately towards the healthcare of the people. So what we have to see is that we are a part of a larger system where being a healthcare professionals, focusing on prevention of disease as well as being the custodian of patients, it's very, very important to develop the leadership, as rightly mentioned by during the inaugural session. Right from the first day of entering into this profession, the most important thing which we have to focus is we are good in clinical areas, but it's also we have to lead and we are the advocates for the patients. So the healthcare delivery system, we are more moving towards the more close to the persons under Ayushman Bharat, where we are having this. The policy is to take healthcare professionals more close to their house, that is at the 5,000 population. For there will be one community health officer, where the nurse is considered to be the person who can manage it very well, because under this Ayushman Bharat, we can see that there are 12 elements of services which has to be provided, which include geriatric care, palliative care, mental health, eye and ENT, which are not covered under the A&M courses. So whereas we have lots of professionals who are prepared in these aspects. So if we have today's scenario, it is very, very important that our leadership skills to be leadership as well as managerial skills to be built up, so that we will be able to manage the health and wellness center and focus on wellness, so that it will be the health coverage will be accessible to the people and affordable also. For any profession, for its governance or for its progress, it requires 3 pillars to be synchronized. That is the governance or the government, the administration, then the regulation, as well as the association. As a professional bodies, these are three professional bodies which will prepare the professionals and will give a proper environment where they can provide these services, so that ultimately the healthcare is possible. So as we know, you have also taken the people from the center level, state level, as well as institutional level. At the top, and we also know that the management is having different middle level, top level, middle level, and lower level. The top level managers have to also see that what is happening in other professions, so that we will be best fitting into the system, so that in synchrony we will be able to take our professionals for the healthcare. So certain reformations are under process, where which is under process is with regard to the regulations. There are National Nursing and Midwifery Commission, which was already placed in the public domain, which may be put in the legislation and various other process it will be going. Another one is with regard to the specialty cadre, as your institution also have undergone this, given the training for nurse practitioners and the residency program. So some efforts are going on in this level, because it's very, very important that the persons who are coming out are competent and to shoulder the responsibilities, be it in the hospital, in the critical area, or in the community health. So for having a competent person, it is important to have the training based upon the need of the country and to that level which is required. So there comes that the post basic courses, that is, once the person is undergone the training and got the license, it is important to have their competency continuously developing, both in knowledge as well as skill and attitude. So bringing the nursing educators close to the patient care. Dual role is another one which is under process. Specialty cadre or the post basic courses as residency based upon the needs. Then common entry exam, common exit exam or licensure exam, so that there will be uniformity for ensuring the quality of the professionals, and also legal framework for the persons to work. These are few points which is about the activities we are doing at the central level. So with this, I conclude my deliberation. Now I can, if few questions are there, I'll be happy to clarify.
Thank you, madam. If there are any questions, we'll take it towards the end. At present, in the chat box, I don't think, I am not seeing any question as such. But madam, very rightly you have mentioned in a gist about what are the different policies and strategies are adopted at the central government, because as our healthcare delivery system is divided at the central, at the state, at the local level, your role is also very, very important at the central level, and it will percolate in the state and the local level also. So now we are having our second speaker. I will request Ms. Sarika to introduce the second speaker, Dr. Neelaj.
Before that, one more minute.
Yeah.
As you know that there are many meetings or many engagements are there. I would request you that if there is any questions, I can answer, and also permit me to leave the meeting so that I can focus on the other things.
Yes, madam. If there are any questions, we'll forward it to you. At present, there is no question. Maybe later on, people will. Thank you, madam.
I have one question, Jyoti.
Yes.
Ma'am, you have just told that about the development and training of nursing. There are some funds available in which we can have 7 days training. How is it? How to go about or are we permitted? Private institutions are permitted to carry on such activities. Yes.
See, the continuing education is it is not like private or government, but the thing is, as you can see that, I don't know, you could not see that slide, but there are a huge amount of money which is allocated for nursing, but because of lack of coordination with the nursing fraternities, it has not been utilized. The government has released the first installment, and then based upon the utilization certificate, we release the second part. So it is we are providing this fund to the State Nursing Council as well as the State Directorate. So we are asking these proposals from them because there is certain government the fund is also transferred through the software to the government organizations. Then they are training, because the private organizations, it is a mandate for every organization to develop their employees. So these are few opportunities which we are, when compared to the amount of money required, we are giving this with the focus for the government institutions. And we are not denying that the participant cannot be from private, but we are giving the money to the government machineries, that is Directorate as well as State Nursing Councils, based upon their proposal, and we are asking them to utilize the money as per the guideline. We are not telling that you can only train nurse from government, because ultimately we are giving care to the patients, whether you are from the government or the private. The quality is important, but the private institutions can invest in their employees, but we give preference to the government employees, but we are giving the money to the government institutions so that they can, we feel, we encourage that the participants should be from different backgrounds so that cross learning takes place. But it is mandate to be utilized in that scheme itself. And we also have shared money to TNAI, which they have also shared to the state TNAIs. So that itself is an example that we are not looking at government or private, but we are looking as nursing professionals. For nursing professionals, this can be a platform where they can learn from each other. Any other?
Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am, may I ask a question?
Yeah.
Jyoti ma'am?
Yes.
Yeah.
Good afternoon to all the dignitaries and good afternoon to Rati ma'am. A very well presented presentation and you have given us a good vision, ma'am, for the further work what we have to do. We all have a big question about the NNMC bill that we have given a lot of updates which they had asked us, and we also wanted to know if there will be any consultation with the nursing leaders around the state for whatever changes we wanted to do in the bill, because most of us had many issues related to few points which were there in the bill about the autonomous part going and it becoming a more autocratic form of a bill. So we would be very happy if there will be a consultation
on the bill for the changes what the whole nation has asked. So what is the way forward on that part? Because we don't want to just get the bill or as an act before any consultation at the national level. That's from my side.
Any bill or the things, there are certain process which is happening. So first thing was that there were consultation with the nursing experts, and then based up then it was put in the public domain, and then all the things have been collected and it is analyzed. The thing is that when any bill at the central level it is doing, means that there will be a set standard, and according to that standard how it is, because it's not from a nurse looking into it, she will be looking from her angle. But when it is a bill, from that there are various levels of consultations. Some inputs have been there by the nursing experts, then at the public domain from the public, as the majorly the observations were from the nursing professions, but there were lots of comments from other professionals also, and from the social and various social activists, and all those things to be considered. Then that will be again looking in totality. It's not only looking in today's scenario or the past scenario, it will be based upon what is the vision for the next 50 years, what is going to happen in education policy, in the healthcare, in the country's things. All those things are taken together, and there are various more processes are there. All the inputs, even if now also it was there for the public domain, after that also if there are major observations that can be shared, which may be considered, but there will be a process which will be going on, where at various level it may be means changed. So it is not that it will just go like that, but it will be deliberated in the Rajya Sabha, Lok Sabha. Before that, it will be also looked from the law ministry, and with all those things, it will be coming. So it's not that at any point of time what we have given will be there. Nobody can say that, because it is from different angles it will be looking out. So there is ultimately there will be one focal point where it will be incorporated or considered, but there may not be too much changes at every point of time. That is what I can say. Any major concerns are there? That definitely I can explain if you have some major concern.
My major concerns were the only thing, because the council will be not be there. So our whole purpose of the profession to have more nursing centric changes, or that part somewhere we felt that it will not be there, like how it is happening in the medical bill.
In the medical bill, in this bill also, it is very well clearly mentioned that it's all the nursing experts are there in each board. So each board is having nurses only. So that nurses have to, means even now also what we are having is that that nursing experts are there. So the leadership of the nurses in this area is very much important. So in the board, if we see that the members are all nursing experts, but definitely it is by nomination. Nomination means the center or state government can nominate the experts from private, from public health, whoever is contributing towards the cause of healthcare. A nursing expert who is giving exemplary services to the healthcare may be nominated by state government or by the center government. So I can't see much concern in that aspect, because it is mentioned that it has to be a nursing expert. And nursing expert, even though it is nominated by the government, it will be based upon the activities of that people. So I think because the bill has to be more broad, and like it is also given a scope that there will be a scope of practice, or anything which is coming as per the act itself is giving that legal framework which will be required. Because to me, even today we are licensed to practice as a nurse. So I'm just sharing my thoughts. It is, if you have a driving license, do you require that you can drive independently, separately written? You have a driving license means you can drive. Whether to do independently or with the support, or that if you make any problem, you are answerable to that. So this same is the thing with nursing also. It is nowhere mentioned that you cannot work independently or you have to work in a hospital or thing. So here comes that we don't have the right to, in the Clinical Establishment Act, to run a clinic. That is something different. It's not to be there in the as such that if we are having two licensed registered nurse as well as registered midwife, which we have to be competent to do it without harming the person, and we have to maintain the competency and work within our boundaries. Prescribing medicine or complicated cases are not our domain. Our domain is mainly assessment, identifying the deviation from normal, and giving them the emergency care and education and counseling. These things are very well we can do. So, but what we are doing, we should be competent. We should ensure our competency, utilizing all the evidences and things available. So that is from my side. The process of
thank you for
going on.
us on this. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes, Sarika.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I may leave the meeting.
Yes, ma'am.
Or sometimes I will just log it so that sometimes in between I get that time I'll try.
Yes,
okay?
ma'am. No problem. Yes. Yes, Sarika.
Thank you, ma'am. Now we'll go ahead with our next speaker. Our next speaker is Dr. Nilima Sonavne, Professor and Principal, INE JJ Hospital Campus, Mumbai. Madam is a PhD graduate from LT College of Nursing, SNDT Women's University, Mumbai. She has 31 years of experience in nursing profession. Madam had conducted many research studies and also presented various papers. She had participated and organized many workshops, seminars, and conferences, and also published many articles. And the special achievements under her credit is she's been awarded Best Teacher Award 2020 Karunashil State Level Award, and also Mahatma Gandhi Award 2010. Madam also holds key positions in different welfare associations. We welcome you, ma'am, for this webinar. And over to you, ma'am.
A very good afternoon to one and all.
Good afternoon.
And thank you for a beautiful introduction of mine. So, and first of all, I would like to say thanks to the organizing committee for giving me this opportunity that I have to speak a lot about the state level nursing leadership. So thank you so much. Can I share my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it visible to all?
Yes, yes.
Yes. So just now, Madam has finished the leadership at the government or the central level. Now it's time for me to speak something about the leadership and governance at the state level. Okay. So this is the year of nurse and midwife. World Health Organization designated 2020 as an International Year of Nurse and Midwife. The courageous work of nurses and other healthcare workers in face of coronavirus does honor to this year of nurses and 200th anniversary of the Florence Nightingale's birth. So at this moment, Florence Nightingale will be very proud of all of us that we have done a great job during this COVID situation. Now let's speak something about the Maharashtra before going to the leadership part. So as you know, Maharashtra is a hub of medical tourism. Okay, all the qualities and cost-effective care the Maharashtra is providing. These are the network of health facilities in the Maharashtra. See how enriched it is. That is green, the blue one represent the government and the red one represent the private health facilities. Okay. This is the health facilities as per the sub-center and PSCs. There are so many. So this is not my topic, but I just wanted to show you all, like Maharashtra is one of the having the best health indicators in the nation, nation-wise. Okay, so this is all the figures which is stating that Maharashtra have enriched health facilities. These are the health indicators. Okay, that is also. If we compare it to the nation-wise, we are really ahead. This is how the nursing colleges like GNM, ANM, BSc, PBBSc and MSCs are there in the state of Maharashtra. This is just for your information. Now comes to the nurses' role as a leader or nursing leadership. Okay, so leadership is an essential component that you all know in most aspects of nurses' role. The component of practice is always considered as very important. However, effective nurse leaders are critical in today's fast-changing and uncertain healthcare environment. Competent leaders positively influence the nursing work environment, staff retention, patient safety, and quality outcome. This is who is the leader. Leader is the one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. And this leader we are finding out in the state of Maharashtra, okay, at the state level. Let's see about the nursing leadership in the state of Maharashtra. Okay, the Office of Surgeon General of Maharashtra is separated on 1st May 1917 to two independent directorates, namely the Director of Medical Education and Research and Director of Health Services. The Directorate of Medical Education and Research supervise the working of 42 institutions, including medical and dental colleges, teaching hospital, and health units. Okay. Now the director is head of the department and assisted by the joint director, the superintendent of nursing services, the in charge of nursing education as well as service, and work under the directorate. There is one post is been called the joint director of nursing. And this post of joint director is taken care by the medicos. The rules or the recruitment rules, regulation, everything is there in the medical side. Like we don't have the RR for this joint director of nursing. Okay, even the post is telling like it is for nursing, but it is not there. And that's why we are fighting for this. I will explain you later. As far as the nursing superintendent post is there, yes, there is a post, and earlier the post was filled and the person worked very well on that post at the state level. What is the problem right now is I'm going to explain later. Let's just have a look. In DHS, this is the organogram of DHS, and yes, there is one post seen that is Deputy Director of Nursing. See, you can see on the second line, okay, Director 1. And that post also is being taken care by the medical field, okay. There is Assistant Director of Nursing, and that also post right now is vacant. That is also I'm going to say yes. But there is some existence of nursing leadership in the DHS side, which is shown in this organogram. Let's talk about the issues now. I told you there is one SNS post, that is Superintendent of Nursing Service at the DMS side. There is Joint Director of Nursing at the DMS side. And DHS side, there is post called a Joint Director of Nursing and the Assistant Director. That post also is vacant right now. So let's speak some of the issues. Here I just want to clear one thing, that I will explain today not the services which is provided by the DHS or DMR at the state level, but I will definitely purely speak about the leadership and the issues and what are the challenges. Okay, so that is the practical aspect I wish to cover today. Okay, there is issue like there is limited higher position at the state level as far as nursing is concerned. Yes, at DMR side, only SNS is there right now. I told you Joint Director Nursing, that post is, taken care by the medical. So this is only one post. So everyone will think like, मेरा नंबर कब आएगा, और वो नंबर कभी नहीं आता है. ये नंबर उन्हीं का आता है which have a good relationship with the higher level and the political influences. So your education and qualification and so many things is not taken care of while selecting on this post. So there is only one post, okay, and that is one of the important issue, that we have to create the post so there so we can work there. So for this we need a separate directorate. If we have a separate directorate of us, so position can be created. But at present, at state level, there is DMR side only one SNS is there, and DHS side only Deputy Director of Nursing is there. That post also is being given to the doctor, and one Assistant Director post is vacant. And why those apex posts is kept vacant, that also we have to discuss. The second part is like nursing is under the shadow of medical field. Okay, this is very important issue. Why this apex post has been kept vacant? There is a reason for this. Because they have to appoint a person who is eligible, educated, or highly educated in the nursing, who has her own thought, decision making, assertiveness, and so many things. But the higher authority don't want those kind of nurses. That's why they want all the position and everything about nursing under them. And what it was earlier, like nurses are the assistant of doctors. That kind of mindset is still going on, and that's why there is a kind of rejection for the higher education and filling up of the higher post as far as government is concerned. I already told like these apex positions are vacant, and reason also I have told. So these apex position will created when we will have the separate directorate. So we don't have anybody at the state level, frankly speaking. SNS post is given, that is the Superintendent of Nursing Services. That post is given on the temporary basis. Okay, the post is clearly vacant, but if so, in between we all resist, we agitate that we want that SNS post to be filled. All the organizations supported that time, even private, government, municipal, everyone came together, and we have returned to the government, we are returned to the secretary, directorate, that this pool is supposed to be filled. And because of that, only the temporary charge is given to the senior person. Up to Madam Parashar, that post was clear, but after that, I think 2015, the post is kept vacant. So the most highest post is kept vacant, so there is no support to us. If we have any problem, okay, not me only, so any of the nursing colleges or The colleges also don't have the principal. All the 4 colleges, including INE, is running by the teachers, senior teachers. So that principal post also is kept vacant. So in case if you have any problem, we have to stand in front of the door of that, joint director or a director. We don't have anybody to speak like, madam, this is the problem and please help us. She may trying to help, okay, but position is given, but without authority, okay, only just to fill that post, so that position is given, but she might have no authority. That's why she's also helpless in this matter. And this is the condition of nurses, especially the government nurses, that nobody ever listened to me. Okay, this is the yellow traffic light. Everybody see that there is someone, but nobody there to listen it. And if will become vocal, or if we'll raise the voice, your voice will be like, that voice has to pay for raising the issues. And that is the reason, like, everyone is keeping quiet. Let it be. We'll wait. And that's why this advantage is been taken by the person who is sitting at the higher level. Okay, I already said higher position sometimes is given like additional charge kind of things, but all the responsibility given, but no authority is given. For authority, we have to ask each and everything, like what is to be done for this issue. I work in DMR under the SNS Nimbalkar madam. Okay, she was a great lady. Okay, and it was a clear post for her. So she had that kind of right to take the decision. And she used to take decision, instant decision for nurses. And I was assistant for her, okay, helping in some of the proposal matter. And I was very happy seeing, and the lady from nursing is sitting on the higher post and taking decision, okay, and issuing orders and so many things. She was doing a great job. After that, Parashar madam also done a great job, because they have the clear position, authority as well as a responsibility, and that's why they work very hard. Now only the additional charge is given, that's why no authority is there. So no involvement in policy decision making, that higher authority is not there, so there is no involvement in the policy decision making. Regarding NMNC bill, okay, just now madam told, like, the nomination was asked from the state, so we came to know today. Nobody asked us. I have not heard this kind of thing, like somebody is asking our nomination or being an expert in nursing for creation of this bill. Okay, today only I came to know. As far as the corona is concerned, okay, there is nodal officer post is created, and there was a nodal officer, but we were thinking like there should have been a nodal nursing officer also, because nurses all over the Maharashtra, all over the India, I say all over the globe, they perform extremely well in the COVID situation, and that's why we could have get control on the this pandemic. Okay, but when there is no post at the apex level, higher level, so there is no involvement in the policy decision making. Okay, and state midwifery task force also is there, but we have nobody ask us, nobody appoint us, nobody invite us for giving some of the our views on that aspect. So in this aspect also, the involvement of nursing is not seen. Why? Because nurses are the most silent or sincere laborer, only working. And that is the reason why they want GNM nurses. I heard at many of the meetings, GNM is best, GNM is best. Yes, we can say GNM are the best because we are also GNM. But there is some career ladder, okay, professional advancement that is being neglected at the higher level. And they want GNM only will work as a sincere labor, very silently, no issue, no voice is raised. And that is the reason why these people are overpowering us and undertaking our profession under them. Advocacy. So advocacy will happen when there is a right, when there is a position and the responsibility. So I already told The posts are vacant. All Apex posts are vacant right from the principal. Colleges which is run with 25 to 30% of the teachers without principal, still it is running with a good result. Okay, but they knows like without principal we can run. So why the principal post is to be filled? And no voice is there, no raising. Whatever post I got additional charge, I'm happy with that additional charge and working like a a very great post, and I'm the principal of this institution, and nobody cares, and they want all the decision to be taken as per their wish. So what are the challenges in nursing leadership and advocacy? This is the need of nursing directorate. Setting up a separate nursing directorate is suggested in every state. This will empower the nursing professionals to take up the leadership role at the policy level. To bring about the necessary reform, the directorate should be headed by the senior nursing professional in the post of nursing director. I have gone through some of the nursing directorate, especially Odisha, and they have a nice organogram, and so many posts can be created at the joint director nursing level, as well as deputy director, deputy superintendent, and so many posts are there. And that's why this nursing directorate is a need of our. In this nursing directorate, not only government nurses will involve, we will involve the nurses from the private as well as from the local self-government, and everyone like will involve, and we will have a separate nursing directorate. And all the decision making should have been done at this level. So that is the very important challenge, and we have to gather, we have to fight for this separate nursing directorate. Then only our role as a subordinate, okay, as a nurse under doctor, that kind of image will be vanish, and we could flourish, or we could set as a separate nursing professionals. For that, what is required is being united and organized. Yes, for some issue like color of dress, all are gathered together immediately, white, camel color, this color. But as far as nursing directorate is concerned, as far as some of the issues are concerned, nobody is involved. They are scared. They are scared of punishment because there is no mother position at the higher level. So nobody is ready to unite. In this aspect, I discussed today morning also, we had a good discussion at the WhatsApp group and at the many level, and sometimes the organization are really very helpful and really helping us. And now also for some issue, I'm expecting that we unite and organize and fight for the right of nurses. So this is very, very important. And this is also a right. No separate nursing directorate is for our right, and we have to fight for our right. Then only the leadership at the state level will be effective, and we will get our rights. So for this, what is required is keeping assertiveness. This is very simple, but this assertiveness of leader is lacking because of no support, lacking because of the this profession is undertaken by someone else, and we are the one or they without support a person. So it's very difficult to fight with them, to argue with them, or to because they have everything. They have political support, they have organization, they have position at the higher level, and that's why this assertiveness sometimes is very, very dangerous to the person who is vocal about their issues. Okay, and this is example. I just wanted to give some of the example of practical example. That is, Institute of Nursing Education in Mumbai is the only one institution which is heading by the nursing personnel. Okay, there is class 1 post of principal there. This post for this institution from 1954, our nursing leader of that time, they struggled a lot because they wanted a separate nursing institution. And how this nursing Institute of Nursing Education is exist. Okay, after that we struggle so much for this separate a building. So we have a separate building here. Then we fight for the separate hostel for the student, and they got it. Then the fight again continue for this, a residential area for the teachers. That also we got it. Only fighting and the struggle. So much struggle was there. And now this institution since 1960 is providing the higher education to the nurses all over Maharashtra. And now it has been planned that this institution is to be given under the dean of some hospital. For that, we all the teachers of INE and the union, we are given our representation at the different level. Okay, meeting with the some of the secretaries and ministers, and so many things are going on. But I really don't know what will happen, because we are organized, we are assertive, we have our vision, like we have to save some certain institution or as a nursing profession. But the people who is in front of us are a great or the great personality, and in front of those personality we are like very tiny substance. So that tiny nurse, okay, or the group of nurse, I really don't know how far they will be effective to save the only one institution which is under nursing. Forget about the directorate level, but here one institution which is under nursing is given to the is planning to give to the some other hospital. So in hospital setting, definitely the dean will be the head, and they can't tolerate that the nurse is from the other institute, say nursing institution, is at their level, okay, class 1 level, and she is the head of the institution. That can't be digest to them, and that is the reason why I am creating the campaign, Save INE campaign. I really thank you so much for organizing committee of this national webinar, that I had got this opportunity to express my view, and I can start with the Save INE campaign already started, but this is the platform where I can say, like, leadership, to create the leadership in nursing, we should have our own institution, we should have our own directorate, then only we can create our leadership and we will be involved in the policy decision making. Okay, so this is how I'm feeling very happy that I got this opportunity. And for this is required the transformer leader and leadership in nursing. So for this, we require the supports and unity of all nursing, then only it is possible for us. So at present, I would like to say at state level, the leadership, nursing leadership is no leadership. One position is nominally filled without any responsibility. Okay, so for creating this leadership at the state level, we have to unite and fight, and then only this kind of transformer leader will develop. Okay, that's
Thank you,
all for
madam.
today. Thank you so much. If anybody would like to ask some questions, I will answer for that.
Madam, we'll take questions later on because we
Okay,
are
fine.
running short of time.
Yes, madam.
Thank you,
Okay.
madam. Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Yes, Sarika.
Thank you, ma'am, for that elaborate session, elaborate talk. Now we'll go ahead with our another speaker. We have with us Miss Anita Devdar, former President, Trained Nurses Association of India. Madam is a MSc Nursing graduate from LP College of Nursing, SNDT University, and had worked as senior tutor in School of Nursing for 25 years. Madam is retired as a principal from School of Nursing and had also worked in different capacity at various places after retirement. Madam is associated with TNI from 1985 and had worked on various posts at city as well as state level. She was the national TNI president between 2014 and 2018
And Madam had also presented various papers at state, national, as well as international level. We welcome you, ma'am, for this webinar, and over to you, ma'am. Madam Anita.
Yes, madam, you can share. Madam, you have to unmute yourself. You have to unmute.
Yeah, I have.
Yes, we can hear you, madam. You can share your screen now.
Just trying to get my slides.
Yeah.
शंतनूला बोलवा ना जरा. शंतनूला बोलवा जरा.
Madam Nancy.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm invited. Let me thank at the outset to all the organizers for giving me this opportunity to talk about TNAI. Now, it is said that professional organization in nursing are always critical in generating energy, flow of ideas, and proactive work, related to the association or related to the clients. But TNAI is an exception for that. And I can say this is the only professional organization, the oldest and the only organization, and we can see the journey of it. As you all know that this organization, initially it was started with only 5 nursing superintendents in Lucknow, and then 9 European nurse administrators joined them, and then they had very good vision, and they looked nursing as a profession, and they wanted to have a forum for nurses to meet and plan further things. This got a momentum, and in 1908 in Mumbai, the Trained Nurses Association of India was formed, and in 2008 we have celebrated the centenary of this TNAI also. Now after that, in my slides are not moving forward. What happened? Can you do that? Can you operate my slides from there?
Yes, madam. 1 minute. 1 minute.
I'm unable to change. 1 minute. I'll just try from here. Yeah, I can operate from here. Now, in 1937, we adopted the Nurses Charter, and which was framed mainly to address the issues related to TNAI's representation to Government of India and other employing authorities on vital matters, and to settle the problems of nurses by negotiation with central and state government, and to improve living and service conditions for nurses and registration. Now, this has resulted in creation of the post like matron, which was not there earlier, and lady nursing superintendent, and the most important is nursing advisor to government. Who was our nursing advisor? I don't know how many of you know. Mr. Dilip Kumar was our nursing advisor to government. And with this result, what happened? The TNAI started representing highest health policy making. TNAI was involved and invited always by the government. Let us see the role of the TNAI in advocating nursing and midwifery in India. Now, we started advocating this by publishing the journals, Nursing Journal of India since 1910. Then we formed the association in 1925, ANM Association, and in 1922, LHBL Association was formed. Then we were instrumental in establishing formal education. International affiliation was there from 1974, mainly CNMF. Then collaboration with SIDA, that is Swedish International Director of Association, UNICEF, and Government of India for implementing safe motherhood practices since 2001. Then we have undertaken the project with European Commission on improving healthcare for safe motherhood in 2002 and improving midwifery and emergency obstetric services in India in collaboration with SIDA and IIM Ahmedabad in 2005. Now you all must be knowing this, how instrumental TNI was in getting the formal education done. And with the result, these all different courses were started right from A&M to independent nurse practitioner. We will not go in detail, everybody is aware of it. Now, we were also instrumental in establishing State Nurses and Midwives Registration Council and Indian Nursing Council. Many people thought that, or they think that Indian Nursing Council is the oldest. No, TNI was instrumental in getting State Nursing Council, Constitution of State Nursing Council in 1926 and Indian Nursing Council in 1947. Then we have, with great efforts, the efforts, we started appointing full-time nurse registrar in state council. You all must be knowing in Maharashtra also earlier, nurse registrar was not there, but for last, I think 10-15 years, nurse registrar is there in most of the state councils. Then also there was a representation of nurse members in majority on these bodies to direct the affairs of the council. Then TNI has affiliation and association with many international organizations like World Health Organization, UNICEF, White Ribbon Alliance, SIDA, and ICN, or many organizations, many other organizations. Then it also has affiliation with national and national governmental and non-governmental organizations like NIPSID, Voluntary Health Association, Red Cross, Indian Red Cross Society, and many other. Let us see the important features, salient features, and main activities of TNI. TNI started participating in policy making and formulating operational guidelines with Government of India. TNI got involved in strategic planning with government, upskilling CPDs. CPDs, that is what, continuous professional development. Then collaboration and affiliation with many national and international organizations. Board member of CNMF since 1974, which was very fruitful. Then communication and advocating through Nursing Journal of India. Then conferences, national and international workshops. Addition of new chapter in textbook on RMC. Established Central Institute of Nursing and Research Center, and also established RNMCH, that is Reproductive, Maternal, Neonatal, Child Health, and even Adolescents National Skill Lab, and conducting training for doctors and nurses. Then you have been always promoting practitioner in midwifery course and critical care by INC, and new cadre of skilled birth attendants that is also promoted by TNI. Now, as I said, international affiliation with CNMF was very fruitful, because CNMF conducts conferences every alternate year, and which is attended by TNI officials. Now, establishing Central Institute of Nursing and Research Center in 2012. I don't know how many of you have visited this site of TNI in Greater Noida. Now, Greater Noida, when we bought this, it was a big jungle, and now you can see nice 3 buildings, and we are having all educational activities conducted there. And it is a beautiful 2 acres land, which has got 3 buildings. One is for the education, second is for the elderly care, and third one is for the staff. We have got an arrangement of 100 people staying there in case of any educational programs. TNI established RNMCH and plus Adolescent Skill Lab in 2015 with collaboration with LSTM. LSTM is, that is Liverpool School of Tropical Medicine, and Government of India. Government of India is supporting this, and we have got a National Skill Lab inaugurated by Dr. Dinesh Baswal, who was the Deputy Commissioner of Maternal Health and MOHFW. You can see this. We are not experts, so please excuse me for this. the National Skill Lab, that is Daksh Lab, and we have got very good lab, and 3 trainers are appointed by government, and till now number of doctors and nurses are also trained there. Doctors, when they come for the training, they feel below dignity to get trained by nurses, but then after, at the end of the training period, they are very happy and they appreciate, and they actually said that please call us every 6 months, we would like to have this training, it is very useful training for us. We had affiliation with international partnership with IAH, that is International Association of Adolescent World Congress, and that was held in 2017. Then we have been publishing this Nursing Journal of India. Many of you must be getting this, and this was started in 1910, and for that also we have completed 100 years, and from 2011 we started publishing nursing TNA bulletin, and the journal we have been progressing this. If you see the old journals and now at present whatever journals are their look and contents are also improved so much, and it is published only alternate month, and TNA bulletin is published every month. Now, important work which is done by TNA, that is 2011. This was mentioned by Madam Rathi, but main initiative was taken by TNA, and TNA has spent a lot of money for this, and let's see how successful this was. Now, in 2011, TNA filed a case in Supreme Court for enhancing salary structure and working conditions. 2013, notice was issued by Supreme Court to Union of India and state government. In 2016 January, Apex Court ordered central government to form committee to work on this issue. In February 2016, committee was formed, and committee was asked to submit the report in 6 months. And in September 2016, committee submitted its recommendations. Let's see what are the recommendations. Recommendations were these were mentioned by Madam Rathi. In case of more than 2,000 bedded private hospitals, salary of nurses should be at par with the salary of state government nurses. Salary given to private nurses should not be less than 20,000 rupees per month. In case even if the hospital is less than 50 bedded hospital, all working conditions, leave, medical facilities, transport, accommodation should be at par with the state government nurses. This doesn't become much successful. Why? Because private nurses working in private hospitals are scared of losing their jobs. So they don't come out with the pay slips and all. There is no proof showing that they are getting less than 20,000. So even if we fought for this, even though orders are given by Supreme Court, but this doesn't become that successful as we expected this. Then what are the benefits for TNA and SNA membership? Now TNA and SNA, I don't know how many of you are aware of it, 24,000 per year. This is the amount given for the scholarship to the TNA and SNA members. We invite the applications, and the applications are scrutinized, and we decide normally in each state, decided number of scholarships are given, and according to the need. Plus critical illness assistance is given maximum of 1 lakh rupees. Nurses welfare grant is given to every state according to the number of members. Subsidized rate for accommodation at TNA guest house. Now TNA has got very good guest house at New Delhi as well as Greater Noida, as I showed you the picture. Then we have got and for that also for nurses and nurses relatives, there is a subsidized rate. The details are available on our website. Railway concession 25% mainly to attend the conferences, and free recruitment, to go abroad. This I will talk little in detail. Now, educational activities or educational benefits for the members attending the conferences. As you all know, SNA and TNA conferences are held every alternate year, and where students get the platform to perform or to exhibit their activities or exhibit their talents, and that is a good opportunity for the students. Then continuing education programs are continuously going on in TNA, and here mainly the American Heart Association AHA has approved basic life support BLS and advanced cardiac life support. in Greater Noida, and that is with very minimum rate, and with that we give accommodation also, and many states have sent their nurses to attend this course, which is very helpful. We have got 3 trainers there and well equipped lab. If you get an opportunity, please do visit this. Then we have got reproductive, neonatal, maternal, neonatal child health and adolescent. That I showed you the Daksh clinic, which is very helpful, and many nurses and doctors got trained under that. Now awards, lifetime achievement awards are given by TNI. Then we give incentives for motivation for enrolling TNI membership, and from 2020 the incentives will be released within 4 to 6 months to the motivators. Now what are the future plans? Now we are planning, or the work is going on to establish the museum. Now, how many of you have visited Florence Nightingale Museum at London? On that basis, we are also planning to have the museum there. Then another thing, we are upskilling through online education, TNI learning and management system, organizing national and international workshops, establishing high fidelity stimulation that I already said, which is already developed, supporting policy changes to ensure a desirable career pathway for the nurse practitioner and practitioner in critical care and nurse practitioner in midwifery educators. Then advocacy with the government on importance of midwifery, separate portal in TNI website for midwifery, and undertaking more projects on midwifery and specialized nursing, as advocated by government. Now, before this, I would like to say a few things about the recruiting agency. There were complaints by many nurses that the agents are looting them exorbitantly, they are charging them, and in spite of that also they are cheated. So government approached us. Government means it is a recruiting agency. It is recognized by Ministry of External Affairs, and they approached TNI to have this recruiting agency. They came and examined our office, and it was inspected. Some changes were suggested, and with that we started in June 2017 this recruiting agency, and with minimum charges, we are only around 20 to 25,000 rupees. We are sending the nurses abroad, and we have a facilities in headquarters for the language lab. We have a language lab there, then language training and CBT training. That is to go for that is for going to UK, and now we are in process of sending nurses to even Middle East and Netherlands also. And this is benefited by almost more than 100 nurses till now, and some more nurses are already on the verge of going abroad. Then another thing is about the Florence Nightingale Award. Now, many of you must be knowing this. What is Florence Nightingale Award? It's a presidential award which was started in 1971, but then for no reason or the reason known to them, it was stopped. And in 2006, with great effort by TNI, it was restarted, and now it is being given every year to all the to nurses of all the various categories. Then, since it is only an oldest professional organization, it is a duty of every proud nurse to be a member of TNI. And TNI had announced, since 2020 was International Nurses Year, we had given the concession of 600 rupees. The membership fees are 3,600, but this year it was only 3,000. But many of you may not be knowing this. That's why I'm very happy to announce this, and this has been extended till 12th of May. So please motivate your friends, your students, and whoever is not yet member to become a member. This is a good opportunity till 12th of May. They can become a member with just minimum fees of 33,000. Then again, let us revise one more thing about the role of TNI in advocating for the nursing and midwifery practice. That is, publications and research, formulation of midwife associations, instrumental in establishing INC and SNRC, State Nursing Council, then establishing formal education, lobbying, policy making, upskilling CPDs, communicating with government, stakeholders, media and members, and collaboration and affiliation. These are the main activities of the TNI. Of course, this is a 112 years old association. So 20 minutes time is not at all sufficient to cover all the activities of the TNI. It is not possible. We require actually one whole day, to talk about TNI, but which is not possible. But we have to conclude, I would say that it is fact that nurses, they cover 50% of any healthcare system, and whether it is a sustainable development goal or millennium goal, whatever it is, it cannot be achieved without nurses. So we have to prove ourselves that we are indispensable, and we should not put our foot back and say that no, we are assistants only and all like that. But we have to prove ourselves that we are indispensable. And the TNI has been always advocating all the educational policies. Government approaches TNI many times, for all the projects. TNI is always asked to participate and take responsibility by government. And this is how TNI is successful, and it is been progressing, and it will progress. And mainly at Greater Noida, you will see all the major activities are going on. In NNMC bill also, TNI has done a lot of work, lot of discussions were done, and we have sent our suggestions to government about NNMC bill. Thank you. I have kept up the time, if I am not wrong.
Yes, madam.
Jyoti.
Yes,
I
madam.
have finished in 20
Yes, madam.
minutes or less than 20 minutes.
Yeah. Madam, there is a one question on since you are also practicing advocating for nurse practitioner. There is one question. 2-3 people have asked the question about nurse practitioner. Like they were saying, when there is no autonomy for the nurse practitioner, then why this course is there? So, will you like to throw light on it?
No, actually the course is started by INC. So we are only promoting it. There is no autonomy, but they say that it is a demand by the doctors in certain institutes, especially at Hyderabad and all, Narayana Institute and all. They have said, even Hinduja Hospital also has started this nurse practitioner. So they are working still. I personally, if you ask me, there has to be some authority for them. But they say that no, there is a demand by doctors also to have these nurse practitioners. That what you say is right. There is no autonomy for them actually. Full autonomy is not there. Yeah.
Okay.
Anything else?
No. Thank you, madam.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Thank you very much.
Thanks, madam. Madam, Prabha, do you want to answer, add on to this question? Anything? Regarding the nurse practitioner?
Yes, Madam Prabha.
We are also running the nurse practitioner in critical care. They are working especially in the critical care units only. As Dr. Rati Balachandran madam has already told that there are some laws or some issues which are kept in the parliament. It is under process, so it may come. And for time being, what is given to us is based on the institutional protocols. They are given autonomy to work in the critical care units, but they cannot work.
It may change from institute to institute, hospital to hospital. Each hospital will have their own policy, about giving this authority.
So these nurses are supposed to be working in the tertiary care units, in the critical care unit only, not in the community, having independence.
Yes.
That is.
They will be working in the hospital itself.
In the hospital only. Yeah. In the hospital.
Yeah. Yes. But what do you think? There is a demand in your hospital also from your doctors?
Yes. Our doctors are training them from the beginning, and they are given independence also. And they are doing a good job. They are recognized in the hospital, and they are doing a good job. Yes.
Thank you, madam.
So we have to, as I said, we have to prove ourselves. We cannot just say, no, we cannot do this and all. And we need to take responsibilities. Many times what happens, nurses only want the position, but they are not ready to take the responsibility. This should be changed. We should be ready to take the responsibilities. I was working in NRHM. So there, their sister nurses, they were reluctant to take the amount in the hands. They said, "No, we have no experience of budgeting and all." And the funds were going back because they were not utilizing the
No,
money.
there was tough time in the beginning for the nurse practitioner students to make their own identity in the hospital. But now we have third batch who have been graduating. So they have made their
and as Rati Bhalchandran rightly pointed out, that as a nurse, we are entitled to practice as a nurse, isn't it? But we don't do that. Actually, we should do that, isn't it? Now, earlier, nurses were running their own maternity homes. But now hardly you will see a nurse running a maternity home, isn't it? We have to do this.
It is not that our nurses do not know. There are number of nurses who are excellent in doing many things in the critical care unit, but they have no authority. Correct. They have no license to do certain procedures. So now with this degree, they will definitely have their own way of functioning, and they can make their own visibility in the critical care.
That is a very sad thing about nursing, that nurses don't have authority, no recognition. That is the thing, no respect, no recognition. But I feel that doctors have established their position in the society. Nurses have not yet established their position in society, and that is why this is all happening. And everybody wants respect and recognition. Even if you do small, your children also, if they do small thing, we always recognize it. We always appreciate it, which is not there in case of nurses. So we have to do something for this. I fully agree to this.
Yes, madam. Yeah. With this, we will move to the education and service side.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, madam.
I will leave the meeting after listening to Nancy.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you, madam.
Yeah.
Yes, Sarika. Can you introduce, madam?
Yes. Madam Anita, can you just stop that share screening so that we can share it from our side? Ma'am. Okay, thank you, ma'am. So going ahead with our next speaker, we have Dr. Nancy Fernandez, madam, professor and principal. Madam is PhD in nursing and is also achieved PG diploma in education management of Sindhi Women's University and has been teaching for the last 34 years. Madam is an evaluator for doctoral as well as postdoctoral dissertation and has contributed chapters to various books and has a number of publications to her credit. She had even conducted and organized number of workshops and conferences and is also a member of various professional bodies. We welcome you, ma'am, to the session, and over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Jyoti. Do I have the screen sharing rights?
No.
Thank you to Prabha Dasila and her team for having invited me. When you gave the topic governance, I was just wondering, as Madam Anita rightly said, we have no authority. We only have tons and tons of responsibility. So where do I get my content from? So you had put me in a very tight spot where I kept reading for 1 week and Jyoti kept asking me for PPT and I did not know what to give her. Okay, anyway, I managed to get something. Yeah, I think you can see and you can hear. Okay,
yes, we can
I have the onus of being the person to ensure on behalf of the whole academia to make sure that we have our nurses, at least for the next generation, they will be able to fight for their own rights. They will be able to participate in every decision making, be it at the hospital, be it in the community, and be it at the service side. So there may be some students there, so therefore I'll take a few definitions, but I will run through them because they are all available in the literature. What is the concept of governance? Governance has been defined to refer to structure and the process that are designed to ensure, I've highlighted the words, accountability, transparency, responsiveness, rule of law, stability, equity, inclusiveness, empowerment, and a broad-based participation. We are doing broad-based participation into everything else, but when it comes to getting our credits, we do not get, because we are not part of the decision making for anything. So if you want to be a part of a good governance, you need to have a nurse on every forum. Why is governance important to us nurses? Governance will help us to influence how an organizational objective are set and achieved. We all know that every hospital, every organization has their objectives, visions, missions, etc. To translate that, we need a nurse to understand what is her role in it, and therefore she should be given her place. How risk is monitored and addressed. We would talk about patient safety, but she should know how to go about doing that. She is evaluated for her performance, but how is she going to increase or optimize her performance? If she knows these three things, that is where her role comes. She will become a part of the governance. What's the goal of the governance? The goal of governance management includes setting goals, setting the objectives, determining ethical standards for practice, establishing the intended culture. What culture you want in your hospital? What culture do you want in your academic institution? What culture do you want at the community level? And ensuring that compliance and designing and implementing the governance framework. Everyone has a model of governance, and you have to make sure that that model is translated. And therefore, the nurse has to be able to understand it. There are 4 components of governance model. The structure, it includes the organizational design, reporting structure, that is your chart of communication, the upward communication, downward communication, lateral communication, and that is also as true for the structure of the committees and the charters that have been written down in every organization. Oversight responsibilities, where you have the responsibility of oversight, where you're part of a board of meetings, management accountability, authority and responsible for every committee that is formed. Most of the nursing institutions which are affiliated to universities are a part of the academic council, they're part of the management council, or they're part also of the Senate. But how much are they permitted to communicate? And when they communicate, how seriously are they taken? Talent and culture. Performance management and incentives. Our nurses are part of the performance evaluation and recommending incentives for their employees. Work and operating principles. Are they taking part into writing the operational principles, leadership and development, and the talent program? The infrastructure. Every organization has an infrastructure. Are the nurses a part, or you should say that nurses need to be a part of the policy and procedure, reporting and communication, technology and key subcomponents. Reporting, yes, a lot of focus is there in the governance model, which most of the time nurses are doing, but they're not part of the policy and procedure. They're not part of the technology implementation. They are part of the technology utilization. What technology is required is the nurse who needs to tell. The components of an operating model includes these 5 components. I'm not going to dwell much into them. There are 6 functions at a healthcare organization for governance. You need to maintain leadership capacity. My previous speakers have already highlighted how important leadership is. Each and every institution has their own mission, vision, and value. How much is the nurse told about it during her orientation program? To ensure quality care, is she empowered? Is she updated regularly? Many a times it is observed from reality that when they have to go for any training program, not everyone gets a chance. We need to improve corporate strategies, annual implementation of programs, monitor the performance against the plans and budgets, and work towards continuous improvement, which becomes the 6 functions that an organization's governance is requiring to do. I'm going to the nursing perspectives. Nursing governance consists of decision making by nursing leaders in the organization. and responds to the need of interest group. Who are this interest group? The interest group is our patients, we nurses, the healthcare agency where we are employed, insurance, because patients get insurance, patients or individuals of the society have insured themselves. So we need to understand about it. Care providers, it would be the family, the guardian, the universities, which have nursing schools, the scientific society, the managers who are working in every healthcare situation, the governing structure, right from the top level to the bottom level. Decisions made by a nurse leader would coincide inclusively with the needs of the interest group, the mission, value of the organization, in order to make decisions with the highest possible quality, autonomy, and competency. Nurse educators are also needed to be a part of the nursing and healthcare governance. We all believe, I'm sure, the 200 plus people who are there on this forum will agree that we as nurses are more sensitive to the need of others. We can make better decisions and we can translate the mission and values of an organization into practice. So are nurses shying from governance? Often nurses are considered as not being competent. They sometimes do not recognize their own competencies and leadership abilities. And it is not recognized by authorities. As highlighted by the previous speakers, we ourselves are not assertive that yes, I can do it and move forward. Other components of governance have still not been developed, like training preparations, competencies in workplace for nurses to be vocal in policy making, in addition to promoting a good working climate, which is an element component of the quality of a life of a professional. When I say life of a professional, if an engineer walks in, the society looks up with pride. The doctor walks in, looks up with pride. Why can't, when a nurse walks in, be applauded? Yes, the COVID has shown us that nurses are super, but number of times the nurses have not received what is their due in terms of compensation financially. So what is the quality of life? When she's struggling, how can you expect her to give her best? All these above principles directly bear on the assessment and perception of patients. Because if we are not showcasing a nurse at the maximum level, we are not making sure her to be visible. Patients see them as second in the line of healthcare, sometimes even at the bottom of the ladder in the healthcare, because they feel that what they're receiving is from the hospital and not from the nurse. But do we as nurses understand? Yes, we do understand the complexities and the demand of healthcare. But few nurses are engaged on the board of directors. Many nurses feel unprepared for governance and leadership role. We have great leaders, but many of them do not want to vocalize. Many of them do not want to take up responsibilities, not because they cannot do it, but the authorities may not comply with the suggestions that have been given. One of the factors which research has also brought out is nurses are not formally educated about the concept of governance. They do not recognize governance as a part of leadership and as a part of the nurse's professional identity. It's my right as a nurse to negotiate. It's my right as a nurse to come into policy making. It's my right as a nurse to lobby. But I do not know how to do it because I have not been taught as a nurse. These are highlights of certain studies. I'm just highlighting 3 over here. Nurses serving on the board admit lacking the preparedness for assessing organizational finance and managing board communication. Many of us have not done economics, and therefore it becomes very difficult to understand the budget auditing, etc., what is going on. And therefore many of them shy or move away. Nurses serve on professionals, members of the board, but need more formal orientation. When they give suggestions, when they want to be elected, they are not allowed to vote. Who are out there on most of the association on the board? Study has shown gender disparity. It is the male nurses or the doctors who are there. And therefore, the appointment rates of nurses on the governing board is very low. Is there a need? Yes. The complexities of today's healthcare Environment requires organizational governing boards to have a deeper understanding of health needs, influence, and outcome with diverse board of leadership. Educators need to recognize that the generation next requires governance knowledge and competencies to influence the hospital, the institution, policy making, which will improve the healthcare outcomes and advance the health promotion. Governance education is a necessary component of preparing a nurse for the future to influence the transformation that we all want. Our previous speakers have said that we need transformation, but we need our nurses to be groomed to bring this transformation. Until nurses can confidently embrace the governance leadership as a part of their professional identity, they are convinced and they expect that no non-nursing person will be on the board. And a nurse can be appointed on the board. This is a challenge that is constantly faced. The previous speakers have already highlighted that at many of the senior positions, it is a non-nurse who is on the board. Be it as the state nursing, I think even our director is a nurse. Maybe she's a female, but she's a nurse, not a nurse. We want nurses at all forums to be on the board, to be able to lead. What should we as nurses do? What should we as educators do? We need to make sure our nurses are equipped, because they are the ones who are providing the requisite healthcare. They have the expertise, they have the knowledge, and they are able to contribute to board discussions and policy making. The nurse board leader can provide salient input to improve the healthcare governance decision making, leading to improved healthcare outcomes. And this has been proved during the COVID time. Our students should be provided with simulations to introduce them to governance and develop the required competency. We need us nurses to be able to communicate. We need them to become vocal. In communication, we need them to be assertive. We need them to be able to do lobbying. And these skills should be incorporated during the study time for the students. What should be done else? Essentials of the baccalaureate program, the professional nurses practice, we should have all this information related to governance and building up their competencies, right? Whether they are in GNM program, they are in the BSc program, masters, or they are nurse practitioners. Not all nurses will pursue higher studies. And that is why we need all levels of nurses to be able to understand the critical leadership role of the board governance and the responsibility of governance decision making and policy making. Only then will they participate. Education about fundamentals of governance should be, and competencies are necessary for shaping the professional identity of a nurse. We need to have inclusiveness of governance leadership to emphasize the critical role of nurse in shaping healthcare system reforms and to help them analyze and develop related policies of healthcare. The governance competencies can be included with discussions about the fiduciary duties of governance, which means we want nurses to be visible at every level, in every board, in every program, and the associated legal and ethical principles in nursing and leadership classes. If many of you may have looked at some of the WhatsApp groups where they have spoken about programs or education or in-service program, many a time it is the doctors who are invited. Does it mean that we do not have nursing leaders capable enough to communicate on various topics? A question that we as nurse educators need to look at. Discussions can be followed by evaluation of governance cases for students, sample board discussions, sample board agendas, so that they know exactly how to discuss in a board meeting. And next time when they take up responsibilities, they will not hesitate to take part in a discussion and place their opinions. This is a sample taken from Quran 2015, which shows how the governance, we as nurses are good at everything. We take care, we are loyal, we are obedient. As principles that are associated with it, we are able to maintain confidentiality. We make sure we are just, veracity. This is there on paper. It needs to be translated. And therefore, a nurse educator is required to support the preparation of nursing students for the governance role by incorporating governance competencies in the nursing education curriculum at all levels. Our curriculum has been designed in 2009 and 2006 respectively. But we have nursing management. We can have simulations at that point so that nurses who are coming out in our all institutions will be able to be part of the governance. Nurse educators need to identify governance as a ubiquitous part of the professional nurse's identity and prepare nurses to engage confidently in governing roles to transform the healthcare. We have proved it during the COVID time also that we are able to make sure that we take leadership roles. This is a sample of governance competencies, which are educational outcome and learning activities. You have governance core components, that is building relationships, in which we make sure that key persons across the disciplines within the healthcare and the community have a common goal. Related to non-core competencies, that is communication, professionalism, teamwork. And we as nurses are good at teamwork also. We are able to work interdisciplinary within the team also. So why nurse educators should be a part of governance? Many institutions have had dual responsibilities, that is at the service as well as in the college, and they have seen drastic changes at the way things function at the hospital level. So we know that when nurse educator is there as a part of the governance, participating in the education as well as the hospital side, it has helped in reduction in the demand of curative care would be translated into improving the quality of care. The nurse educator can set a benchmark of quality care through the nursing research, and she can continue to empower nurses at all levels through continuous training. She can promote good governance in the healthcare sector by meaningful, consistent emphasis on prompt equitability and professional service delivery, which must become our cardinal principle of every nursing department. Nursing expertise and leadership can be highly valuable in formulating organizational policies and strategies for controlling cost and improving quality. And therefore, a nurse educator should be on the board of every hospital. Highly qualified nurses, both at the service side as well as at the academics, should be there in the hospital boards. They can help by working in the committees for bringing about better change in positions. They can help in containing cost, thereby improving the patient quality care, safety, which is our growing concern. There is need for board members with integrity, deep commitment to an organization mission, value, demonstrating competency in discipline where board requires expertise and willingness to dedicate the time and effort required to perform governance duties properly in greater than ever before. Because in healthcare COVID time, we have seen a large number of nursing leaders working long hours in taking decisions, in preparing protocols, in making policy changes to meet the need of the hour. And therefore, we need nurses on the board in every organization. My concluding thoughts: there are several factors that support the idea of engaging nurses in the governance of hospital and health system. Nurse workforce has a great impact on operating expenses, the quality of patient care, and the patient satisfaction. The nurse educator can equip and contribute to it. Authorities need to recognize the nurses have great impact in determining the cost and quality of healthcare. Nursing leaders in nursing profession constitute a deep pool of talent for governance role in the healthcare organization, but that's historically we have proof that it has been untapped. The nursing profession has many persons who can meet the required standards, yet relatively few are being asked to consider the appointment as voting members of a hospital or a health system board, or even at the state or national level. Many a time, we are not voted into position. We have Swati who brought up the issue of MNC bill. How much of power do we have in voting that the lacunae of the bill is what we are not happy with? High qualified nurses are available for governance role. If we are invited to serve and can make strong strong and enduring contribution to increasingly complex work of hospital and healthcare system boards, then surely we can bring about a change. All we need to do is nurse educators, nurse leaders should push institutions and hospitals to have nursing candidates on board appointed or recruited or nominated so that we can bring about and contribute to changes in society. Nurses are there who are educated. Many of the doctors don't even know that PhD in nursing is there, that a nurse could be a doctor, a nurse could be a specialist. They're a little surprised that we are nurses who have a PhD. We need to increase our visibility. If our visibility is increased, we will be taken up to be a part of the governance. These are my references. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. We'll move on to the next speaker, Dr. Falakshi Mantekar. Sarika will introduce the sir. Madam.
Thank you, ma'am. To speak on nurses' advocacy in healthcare governance at nursing service level, we have Dr. Falakshi Manjrekar, Madam, Director Nursing, PD Hinduja Hospital and Medical Research Center, Mumbai. Madam has over 30 years of clinical leadership experience and holding many professional responsibilities, and even an executive director of Nightingale Institute for Global Health, editor for Research and Theory for Nursing Practice, USA, etc. Madam has contributed as a panelist at the International Women's World Conference at the University of Ottawa, Canada, and had conferred with global and regional nursing leaders, and had even attended the World Health Organization and at WHO. Madam was conferred as Lifetime Achievement Award in the category of Community Health and Wellbeing by the Visionaries International of Canada, and her present role encompasses nursing service management, leadership, continuing education, and research. We welcome you, ma'am, to this webinar, and over to you, ma'am.
Thank you. I'll just start sharing my screen. Okay. I think we are running short of time, so let's speedily go ahead. The topic is extremely interesting. Can everyone see the screen? Okay, I think everyone can. The topic is extremely interesting in terms of how important we are looking at in terms of the practice arena. It's a very important fact to encompass the entire governance into various phases and various parts. In the healthcare system, or basically where the hospitals are concerned, without healthcare governance today, I don't think so we have much to go ahead. Quickly talking about something which is considered as clinical governance. We have a statement which has already been, discussed by Dr. Nancy Fernandez. So I would like to go directly into what are the parameters which are very important for us. Nursing clinical governance is basically a part of clinical governance. And the moment we are talking about governance, we are looking at a very strong nurse leader. Because what is very important to understand is, it's easy to say that we need a governance in an institute. However, what has to be understood is healthcare practice is a very demanding activity today. It's an extremely competitive field. And unless and until the nurse leader proves her ability, this is not something which will come to her very easily. Today, we have a group of management who are basically on an administrative forum, very, very positive to allow a nurse to grow. It is also dependent on the nurse, how she is going to take ahead her own leadership, how she is going to take her own ability to take decisions, how she is able to sort of, take decisions which matter for her nurses, for her people, for the staff, for the relatives, for the entire institute. And success is basically directly related to the outcomes. If the outcomes are good, she's encouraged. Unfortunately, if the outcomes are poor, I don't think she can, really look forward to being encouraged to go ahead in her own area in terms of autonomy or decision making. Quickly, the moment we are talking about clinical governance, NHS has defined 7 very, very important pillars, and many of us, use this. The first pillar of this governance is clinical effectiveness. Today, I mean, if I have to take a decision in clinicals, I need to show an outcome which is effective. It could be anything. The most important component is the component number 2, the risk management. What we have to understand is the moment a patient enters an institute, there is some amount of risk which he is going to face. How is the nurse leader pick up an ability and successfully manage the risk to basically nullify it? A most common, risk management is in terms of a patient who comes to us for a condition A, and over a period of time develops complications or develops condition B or condition C. Suddenly a basic patient who's come to us for a basic surgery is unconscious with a paralysis because of a certain surgical error or because of certain side effects. That's a basic risk we are looking at. How do I, as a nurse leader, assure my patients, my people, I would be able to give you an environment where risk is managed to basically a zero risk benchmark. More importantly, the patient experience and involvement. Today, what we have to understand is the patient who comes today comes with a Google, tab with him, and who thinks he knows better than us. He's a person who does not look at you saying that you are a god, or you are going to look after me and I'm going to get better and I'm basically dependent on you, and I'm going to listen to you. He's a person who's going to come, who's going to question you, who's going to say that, okay, you have performed this activity in this way as a nurse, but then there are many other methodologies, and I would want you to know that I would want methodology 2 or 3, and are you in a position to do that for me, because I feel that is more important. Unless and until you involve the patient, I don't think so we should go ahead. Communication is something which is extremely important and very well explained. What is more important is resource effectiveness. Do I have the right resources? Am I able to use them? Strategic effectiveness is something which is again a combination of point number 1 to point number 5. I have around 5 to 6 strategies. Are they effective? And more importantly, I don't think so we can really practice governance unless and until we have a learning mind. At no level can I say that, okay, I know everything and I can't really, practice. The best nursing department is the department where a nurse gives you a feedback saying that what we practiced last year is no longer valid today. A nurse who comes and tells us, I've been doing this for the past 10 years and that's the reason why I think it's effective, is totally a wrong, notion. We would want a nurse to say, I've been doing it for the past 1 year. I think we need to now learn and use another methodology and check out if that's going to work better. And that's what we want in a governance, because today people are looking for change. People are looking for, going one step ahead. Flowchart or clinical governance is basically a clinical audit. Audit tells us whether you are effective. It tells us what are your practice standard. It tells us whether this can be implemented with the right amount of education and teaching. It tells us whether you will be able to manage risk, and it tells us whether the systems and processes are effective, or you want to go in for a re-audit and do something which can be better. Quickly, this is a chart which a person or many of us, follow when we are looking at risk management. We have basically 8 risk domains. The most important domain, which is very, very close to a nurse's heart. What we have to really understand is when we are looking at risk management, there's nothing like nursing risk management and a non-nursing risk management. Risk management is risk management, whether it could be nursing or whether it could be non-nursing. Areas where, are something where a nurse dominance makes a huge importance is clinical patient safety. A person comes to you, falls in the bathroom and now lands up on a surgical table to undergo a hip replacement is basically a mismanaged person. This is a person who we were not able to really anticipate a fall. This is a person where we were able to sort of, not overcome our risk and give him something which he didn't really anticipate. Core objectives of governance can always be development of leadership and competencies. I'm not going to talk much about it because I feel we are really running out of time. However, what is extremely important is who are the participants. If you want to practice governance and you want to, really advocate practicing governance, the participants are all the nurses who are working in the hospital. There's nothing like, okay, the head nurses are involved, the staff nurses are not involved, the juniors are involved, the senior. Like each and every nurse has to have a role to play where nursing governance is concerned. Let's talk about what is extremely important if I have to go ahead in this direction. Extremely important is we would want to redefine nursing. On the left hand side are the definitions which are very, very popular. This is something which all of us are very, very, competent about. On the right hand side are the definitions which we would want to add in our basic definition. The basics of nursing are not going to change. However, when we are looking at, professional standards in terms of care definition, today we would like to add classifications of care as an added point to say that this can be a better way of, managing nursing. If we are looking of, professional performance cannot be complete unless and until you add the point of quality assurance. Quickly, why is quality assurance very important? What we have to understand is in clinical nursing, the activity which a nurse performs is extremely repetitive. A simple procedure like giving medications, this is an act which a nurse would be performing in a day on an occasion of around, say, 30 to 40 episodes. Each medicine which she gives to a patient could be considered as one clinical episode. One patient could have around 7 to 8 medication administration. Each and every procedure is considered as a procedure on its own. The chances of her making a medication error are extremely high because of the concept of the procedure being a repetitive procedure. When you're performing the same procedure 10 times, the chances of error increase by 10-fold. If the same procedure is performed, say, 20 times, the chances of errors basically increase by 20-fold. And that's the reason why, as a nurse leader, you need to ensure that I would want to minimize the error of risk when I'm performing this activity 20 or 50 times. And that's the reason why quality assurance today forms an extremely important part. We also are going to talk about practice guidelines. However, what is very important is let's enter into practice guidelines using the word specialty. Today, I have my counterpart in the medical professions who are orthopedicians, who are gynecologists, who are spine surgeons, who are neurosurgeons, who are basically, into multiple areas of practice. There are people who's only practicing diabetologists. There are people who are only practicing lung medicine. However, the moment we are talking about nursing, you have one nurse who sort of, is supposed to assist all the doctors, all the medical fraternity. Today, we need nurse to into a specialized field. She needs to have a practice guidelines which tell her that she needs to be specialty oriented. If she has to work in a field which basically is a field of lung medicine, she needs to be better guided, she needs to be better knowledgeable to work in a field of lung medicine so that she's able to give you best patient outcome. So we are looking at terminologies from empathy, communication, teaching, etc. Today, we would like this nurse to be a person who's critically thinking, who's looking at solutions, and who's independent when she takes a decision. We're looking at a total change of concept. We are not looking at integrating theory in practice. So today, when we are not really looking at the word collaboration, we don't want, okay, today, academics is an extremely highly specialized field, and nursing service or clinical nursing is another specialized field. What we would like to do, many years ago, I would want to definitely make this statement. We sort of, entered to practice as nurses, whereby we were taught, we were told that what you learn in the College of Nursing cannot be practiced in the hospital. So yes, theory, you're too theoretical. That's what many of our practitioners would say, that this is what you have learned in the College of Nursing. But sorry, you can't put that into practices when you're working in the hospital. Today, we want to change that. Today, what we would like to say is close the gap between theory and practice. We would like to say whatever theory you have taught, put that into practice because our academics are extremely strong. Even in Indian scenario, our educations are extremely strong. So it's very important to practice what you have learned. And that's what we are looking at. If you really want to, practice good nursing, close the gap between the theory and the practice. What is also extremely important is evidence-based practice. The crux of evidence-based practice is look at the evidence and practice. What is also important is the moment I say that, okay, this is the evidence and that's what I want to practice, what I'm going to get is I'm going to get a large amount of barriers and very small amount of benefits. So be ready to face the, fight. Be ready to sort of, say that, yes, it's not going to be easy. This is an evidence. I would want to put it into practice. Is it going to be easy? No, it's not going to be easy. Is it beneficial? Definitely. It is going to improve your patient care. It's going to better your credibility of nursing profession. However, there would be multiple barriers, like most importantly, negative attitudes, lack of institutional support, limited research findings, and many others.
We are running short of time.
Okay. I have one example of EBP which I would like to say over here. Hospital infection control practice decreases HAI is one of the EBP which was easily implemented. Safe staffing decreases medication errors is another evidence basic. If I'm able to sort of pick that up and say that this is how I want to do it, I would be easily doing it. I'll quickly go ahead in terms of I'll try and avoid that. Okay, another thing which supports us is multiple nursing audits. If I want to better my practice, what is extremely important is, do I have a good audit framework which helps me? There are multiple examples of audits which I can sort of share with you. However, I would like to pick up a point D over here. I have an audit which tells me that clinical nursing audit to validate patients' vital parameters checking methodology helps me to better my ability to associate myself on a decision-making platform to say that these vital parameters are important for me to take a decision. This was an extremely important parameter. The reason why I'm trying to sort of point a finger here is because today the nurse no longer needs to say, I need to take vital parameters of the patient at an interval of every 4 to 6 hours. We can't sort of say, I have a standard TPR chart and I need to use it whether it's applicable. No, do an audit and see if it wants to be changed. And that's what we are looking at in terms of decisions. To end, I would like to make a statement saying that, again, quality assurance needs to be a benchmark. And unless and until you can assure of quality nursing, I don't think so you'll be able to go ahead in terms of quality governance. I have a small statement to make over here before I end my presentation, to say that when you're talking about assurance or when you're talking about assuring quality, you can't be a single person. I can't say, okay, nursing quality is being something which is defined by nurses. Nursing quality is basically an integrated loop, and the entire group of people who work for hospital or healthcare comes together to help me. I need the finance to give me money to practice quality. I need adequate amount of human resources. I need facilities. I need supply. I need predictive analysis. I need an extremely good level of service level management if I really want to practice quality. And if I'm able to do that, I will sort of, be definitely a person who will hold my head high and say that, yes, I'm a good nurse. I can take my decisions and I want to go ahead. I would like to end my presentation with this level. These are some references which I will be using. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Salakshi. Here I will just like to wind up the topic by just 2 minutes. So this is the what we have learned throughout this since afternoon 1 o'clock. We'll just wind up that. There is a burden of emerging infectious disease, prevalent, communicable, and non-communicable disease, and there is a disparity in the healthcare provision, and health and productivity of people are compromised in this situation. So today in the pandemic of COVID-19, it becomes very obvious that current health system, coverage of healthcare facility, quality and quantity of manpower is needed to be accelerated. So to meet the current demand of India about the qualified nurses, there is need for good governance and leadership at all levels in production of nurses in the college and making them competent in clinical skills and practice them in a clinical settings as a nurses. So as a leader, we have invited the nursing leaders from administrative sides, from the central government, from then we are also having from the state and the local. Dr. Falakshi was there from the state. Madam Deputy Director was there, and Nilima Sonawne Madam has also rightly pointed out. Then Dr. Nancy, that is the academic leader, and organization leader, professional leader, Dr. Anita Devdar and Madam Falakshi was there. And they have rightly pointed out that the leaders provide the direction for governors to fostering a shared understanding, clarity around roles between the local and the national actors, promoting collaboration and joint of working and encouraging commitment at all levels on the agenda of health for all. So at various levels, they have highlighted their points, and leadership is about influencing others, as we are known. So what are the things I just want to highlight? Nurses advocacy, we learn right from the foundation of nursing, what is the role of nurse as an advocate. So we teach them to be advocate on behalf of the patient and to carry out and to stand with the patient for their right. But as they become a staff, they have to see that they have to stand not only for their patients, but for their own staff, other members also. As an administrator at the local, at the state and the central level, we want them, they should stand with the professionals, with their employees and the others professional level, so that they can carry out better communication, collaboration, coordination, and that should be interagency collaboration coordination. So what will happen that everybody will know what is happening, how it has to be happen, and your voices will be heard. Some of them has really pointed out that nurses' role or autonomy and all. Yes, today we are talking about nursing, nurse practitioner. At the same time, our nursing bill is saying about nursing associate. So we are really in a dilemma where the leadership is going to take place. But I will just like to pinpoint over here that autonomy is important for healthcare governance, but at the same time, as Madam Falakshi has rightly pointed out, you have to prove, and then autonomy will automatically come to you. So let us prove, and simultaneously let us fight for the autonomy also, so that we will be able to provide a better healthcare governance, and we can able to meet the needs of the health for all. And this is in gist I will like to share. And I thanks all the speakers, Dr. Falakshi Mandrekar, Dr. Nancy Fernandez, Dr. Nilima Sonawne, Dr. Anita Devdar, Madam, then Dr. Rati Balchandran, and our guest of honor also for sharing their views, and of course, Madam Dr. Prabha Dasila, who has opened up the theme so well that it went in a very, very systematic way. I thanks a lot. Anybody want? I'll just see any questions are there.
Thank you very much to everyone for sharing their valuable inputs, and it was really excellent deliberations today.
Yeah.
And we are looking forward tomorrow also to have the same deliberation, so that we will definitely improve in our leadership and governance.
Thank you. Thank you. Wonderful hearing everyone.
Yeah, thank you, madam.
Excellently organized. So thank you for your leadership also. Yes.
There was one question I will like to answer. This is regarding Maharashtra Nursing Council. Somebody was saying that there are some non-nursing members are holding the Maharashtra Nursing Council post. So Dr. Nilima Sonawne has given me something. She is saying the Maharashtra Nursing Council is pivotal nursing body which remains standard in nursing education in state. In MNC also there is encroachment and overpowered by medicals. That is the reason why nursing leadership is devalued in MNC. This is what she has answered. And I think all of us, we have to make a lobby or to give a representation to the various higher level positions, so that we can speak for ourselves, and in return we can speak for our whether it is our student, whether it is our patient, whether it is our healthy, wealthy clients. Since we are talking about now health, wellness, we are shifting from curative to the wellness situation. So we can speak on behalf of everybody, thinking all the biases of like a medical practitioner, money orientation, and other things.
And nurses need to learn to lobby.
Yeah, nurses need to learn to lobby. So I think we
Lobby
should
for
take
their
a
own
chance.
rights.
Yeah, yes, true. So let us lobby, and today we'll wind up our session over here. Thank you for all, but we'll be connected for various good cause for our leadership.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Prabha, Swati, and Filakshi.
Thank you,
Wonderful
ma'am. Thank you
connecting
so
back.
much.
Yes,
Prabha, ma'am,
thank you.
thank you,
Thank-
Lucy, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes,
We are
thank
waiting
you,
to hear
Swati
from
ma'am.
you tomorrow.
Yes, thank you,
Chalo,
Swati ma'am
bye-bye.
also. Okay,
Thank you. Thank you. Take care.
Bye-bye. All the members has to fill the feedback form. Okay, all the participants, so that we'll evaluate ourselves also, and that will help us to provide our e-certificates also.
This will be available in YouTube, Jyoti. That also.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can announce,
yeah. This all the sessions are available in the YouTube's also, so you can go to those who have missed because of some or other reasons, they can able to see. Oh,
thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Swati.
खत्म